Give me some of that. 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 Put it up.
Sheep. think it's time to start. Why not? Let's do this.
Distance nerding.
Hey! Hold on. Now you can talk.
Hey.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy. We're here. Distance nerding. We are ready to have a whole crap ton of fun, guys. You have no idea. Oh,
And we're here to nerd together. We're talking about anything. Pop culture, movies, food, music, wrestling, whatever you're nerding out on, we want to talk about it. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Wait. Who invited this guy?
are you in as much shock as I am right now? James, are you here on a Monday?
What are you talking about?
Wait. You're not on the
Wednesday.
jet?
It's
the
Wednesday.
I thought you were supposed to be in Dubai right now, man.
I mean, I should be, but it's a Wednesday, so I'm here, right? The show.
It's
Show comes
Monday,
first.
bro.
Oh, what?
Wrong day.
Oh. So
What's
I didn't miss the special interview yet?
No, not yet. Not at all.
Sweet. I'm here to make sure things go right then.
Yeah, see, James here to do his job for once, right? Just make sure everybody is in line.
I like it.
No, I'm never in line.
I
Gotta
know,
make it
right?
happen.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you are now watching The Build with your boy Young Phil and your boy Squints, and apparently James is
Tom
here.
5000.
The Jamez 5000 is here.
I'm here. Gonna make sure things go right. Special interview. Let's make it happen.
I feel it, man. I dig it. I dig that whole thing. So, that all being said, before we jump in and bring our special guest on, because we do have a very special guest on today, let's go ahead and knock out these sponsors plugs, and then let's get to it. So, guys, the stream, as always, is brought to you by Pod Decks. Pod Decks are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience and get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddecks.com. Now, guys, use the code NERDING10 right there, NERDING10, and get 10% off of your purchase at poddecks.com. Guys, if you're not familiar with Poddecks, it is super amazing. James, what do you think?
I love Poddex. We used Poddex this weekend at Metal Art Comic Con. It was great. People loved the crazy questions that made them think. We get a lot of responses when we interview celebrities and we ask them the pod deck questions, and they're like, "Huh, I never thought of that. That's a good question." So it's funny making them think. So it's good.
All for it. Now, guys, because I'm not trying to be too quick about this, but I mean, there's always questions on if Poddex powers the stream, then what the hell powers Young Phil? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a little concoction out there called
Dubby. It's an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time, and no jitters or crash. Dubby contains no maltodextrins, whatever that is, or sugars, or fillers, or artificial flavors, or dyes. Find out more about Dubby at dubby.gg. That's right, dubby.dg. I'm screwing it up. Dubby.gg. And we got a special for you.
James, get good.
Use code NERDING10, NERDING10 for 10% off your purchase.
There
Boom.
we go. Boom.
Now,
So
what are
guys,
you
go to w.gg and put in the code nerding10 and get 10% off of one of these 5 or maybe all of 5 delicious flavors. We've got Dub Sludge, which is a Granny Smith apple. We've got a Galaxy Grenade, watermelon, guava, and lime. And of course, my favorite flavor is the Dragonade, which is a dragon fruit pink strawberry lemonade. And then the 2 new flavors that just came out, or they've been out for a little while now, but the Beach and Peach, which is a white peach mango cooler. And then, of course, the forgetting the full name of it. Hold on, I got it right in front of me. There we go. The Passion Joy Tea, which is a passion fruit iced tea. So, guys, go to w.gg, code nerding10. You get that 10% off of that W. How about that? Look at that. And W is covering Squint's face. He really has to squint in order to see above that. There you go. All right, man. Well, without any further ado here, I think it's time for us to bring on our guest. James, you got any cool introductions here?
I probably do. You want me to look it up? Cool. All right. Talk about right place, right time, the right height. We have a very special guest, an original actor from the original Star Wars film. You've seen Star Wars. You've seen her on screen. Not even Death Valley gets as hot as this interview. The hot Jawa herself. Please welcome Andrea Miller.
Hi. That was the best introduction ever.
Yes. Awesome. Wait. Philippe, cut the music. Philippe, cut the music. She's giving me a compliment. So,
even more reason.
Really,
We can't have James' head get any bigger.
the music's great.
Don't give him compliments.
Welcome. How are you?
Well, thank you. That was amazing. That was a
Awesome.
really good.
I'll send it to you.
Thank
Make sure
you very much
everybody
for that.
uses that. Make sure everybody uses that intro next when they introduce you.
Yeah, exactly.
And listen, James, W.GG is not easy to say.
It's not.
It's not. It does not roll off the tongue. W.GG. That's not easy.
It's
Who does that?
I don't know. Maybe it's hard for him. I don't know why it's hard for him.
Not GG. That's so weird.
Good game.
No, it is.
Turn that down.
But it is what it is. It is what it is. How's everything going? Is it 104 degrees where you are?
No, thank God. I know I saw that. I was like, oh my God, that's horrible. No, I moved out of Death Valley just for that reason. It's like, what is it, like a balmy 67 here in San Francisco, something like that.
Ooh, so
I'm
chilly.
used to that. I miss that.
Oh my God, it's so great. I forget, like when you step outside of San Francisco, it's like it's hot out there.
I know, right? So crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Miserable.
real quick, I'm gonna throw some questions at you. We'll get into the that little thing called Star Wars, but let's learn a little bit about you. So, what is something that people are nerding out on or obsessed with, but you just don't understand or get the point of?
Oh man,
Like for me,
that's kind of a tough one.
while you're thinking about it, like for me,
Okay.
mine, I'm getting up there. Mine is TikTok. I just don't understand how people use TikTok, why people use TikTok, the whole dialogue back and forth thing.
He doesn't get the TikToks.
I just don't get the TikTok.
It just doesn't,
He's not deranged like us, Phil.
I know, right?
I mean, I get the TikToks. I
Right?
understand the TikToks, but
And just throw this out there,
I-
guys. I might get this done in the episode. There's only
yeah, if you don't, I'm gonna be worried about your skills.
Oh, woo, she's calling me out.
'Cause that looks pretty. I mean, that's what is that? Luke's helmet?
It's Luke's
Nice.
helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, you could. I think my son did that like 2 weeks ago, and he did get it done in an hour. No pressure though.
Just showing how terrible of a builder I am. Thank you for calling me out. Yes, exactly what we wanted.
So should I set the clock now, Phil?
No, my
God.
son's 14 though, so I mean,
Well,
He does
yeah.
He has a lot more energy than me. There you go.
yeah, he still does Legos. He's like the last standing person in his group that still does Legos.
Andrea, tell him to send me his resume just in case this whole young Phil thing doesn't work
I
out.
will.
Yeah, that way he can replace me on the show.
Might need a backup. Much appreciated.
I mean, all you're doing is just giving him what he wants because James has been trying to replace me for like the last year and a half now. So
Oh no. Behind the scenes gossip here. I love it.
All right. Have you thought of something that you just don't get a point of? Maybe it's Legos. Maybe it's building Legos online.
No, it's so funny because there's so many things that I feel like I shouldn't understand, but I do. Like, I was actually just sticking with the genre you're talking about of social media. Like, I don't actually get reels because
Really?
TikTok is very specific. It's a very specific algorithm, so it really picks up on like what you're interested in immediately.
Mhm.
Whereas reels are just like all over the place, and it's like just the kitchen sink. It's like everything is in reels, so it's like.
I can agree.
But and they're also just pull from TikTok, so I'm like, I don't understand why you guys are doing these reels. It doesn't make sense.
Because they have to have their own thing.
It's funny
Yeah,
because our reels, because we have a combination. Our reels are a combination of two things. My TikToks, which are like like our
Right, exactly, right.
and then a lot of like advertising and stuff that we do for stuff on the show.
What's funny about the whole algorithm thing is that I think I've screwed over. No worries. I think I've screwed over our distance nerding algorithm because whenever reels come up in our distance nerding thing, it's always just like slow motion food, just people making food and showing it to the camera. I mean, they got me. It's just I'm doing it on the distance nerding feed.
Those are the reels that James is watching right there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, those are pretty good reels.
No more Comic-Cons or cosplays or superhero stuff. It's just all
It's
food
just
in your
shots.
face.
Right.
I do get a lot of cosplay.
Oh, good. At least you get them. At least one of us gets it. That's good. That's good. Hey, let's flip it. So we have a segment on our show called Growing Up Geeky. So, of course, we geeked out on Star Wars when we were kids. What did you geek out on when you were a kid?
I was really big into like, I had this whole wall, and it was definitely like 1979, I think, but I had this whole wall of just like John Travolta and Sean Cassidy, and so I was definitely into like the teen heartthrobs, and roller skating. That
Nice.
I was very big into roller skating.
That's awesome.
Yeah, those were my go-tos at that time. It wasn't Star Wars, if you can believe that.
All right.
I mean,
it wouldn't be the movie that you were in, just.
I know, exactly. It's so weird. I mean, and believe me, I loved the movie. I think it was because my brother was geeking out about it. And so I was like, I'm not going to be that guy.
So uncool. It's so uncool.
He had all the Star Wars stuff too. Like I had none of it, and he had all of it.
Yeah, like all the action figures stuff.
Oh yeah, everything Star Wars he had. So
how many Jawa?
I think I probably shied away from it. Yeah, I get a lot of Jawas. I have like 3 Jawa Sandcrawler Lego kits that I haven't put together yet.
Oh, perfect.
I should say my son hasn't put together yet.
We can have your son build it. Phil can take a break. It's perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Wait, you're giving Phil vacation?
He's getting married like in a month.
It's true.
He's gonna need it.
What are you doing here?
I know,
aren't you busy?
We're very busy, but I mean, still at the same time, like, this is.
Is your fiance like watching you build this Lego right now, thinking
she's actually going to be on the show here in a minute?
Things on my list. She's going to. So she gets you.
She's going to be doing the bracket later.
Nice. Oh, cool.
Okay, so we've spoken to Tim Donaldson, who we all know and love, about his experience and his parents living in Death Valley back in the day. Now, what were you doing in Death Valley?
My parents also brought me to Death Valley. But very different than Tim's story. My dad is an artist, pottery, and my stepmother was a school teacher. So she was actually teaching at the school that Tim and I were going to.
Oh,
And my
okay.
dad was commissioned and asked to come out and open up a pottery store next door to there was an opera house that was in this tiny town called Death Valley Junction, and only 14 people lived there. And it was a pretty famous ballet dancer, Marta Beckett. She lived in this town, and there used to get huge busloads of tourists coming in and going to her shows on the weekends. And so my dad was asked to come out and kind of build up this town because it also had an inn. And so he opened up a pottery shop next door for the tourists. And so that's kind of what we were doing. That's what got me there. So yeah, but we lived there for about 5 years, and it was great. I mean, it was so much fun like growing up in Death Valley. It was a lot of fun, lot of adventure, a lot of,
I can imagine
all the fun of growing up in a place called Death Valley.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the day it hit 120.
That is nuts.
Yeah, it was hot, but
family in Joshua Tree, so I totally understand.
Yeah, it gets really, really hot, but it's such a beautiful place. I mean, I can't. Have you all been to Death Valley?
I haven't.
You haven't.
I've been to the Grand Canyon. That's about it.
Yeah. Okay, it's like I mean, it's just every turn you take, there's just this beautiful, I mean, it's crazy that the desert can be that gorgeous, but it has sand dunes, obviously. That's why they went to Death Valley to film it.
I mean, they've got they've got little people who wear shrouded.
That's right. You can just go to the local school and pick up little children and take them to a hotel room and dress them up in outfits.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because it sounds super awkward here in 2022. So bring us back to before Star Wars. Your mom is a teacher at this school, and then what happened? Like, how did you get into Star Wars?
Yeah, so I mean, basically, they came in and said, we need 8 kids for this movie that we're doing. And it wasn't that uncommon to ask locals to do movies. I've lived in a couple of small towns, and it's actually a pretty common thing. So it wasn't probably that odd. Maybe that we were children, it might have been, because usually they're asking for adults. Right. But I think that, back in the 70s, it was sort of like, what a great experience for these kids. And, they were right. And so they thought, it would be a good experience. And so they came in and measured everyone. And I'm sure that Tim had already talked about this, but that we had to fit into specific costumes. And so we just really kind of hit the lottery on our height. And that was about it. And maybe, who knows, they were probably looking at other things too. Like I was a pretty nice kid. I think Tim was a pretty nice kid. They were probably looking also for children that were, had, a calm demeanor and weren't bouncing off the walls or anything like that. I would guess.
Wasn't going to kick Lucas in the shin,
Yeah, exactly. Because really, if you think about it, the kids that they picked were all pretty mellow children, from my recollection.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, out of 60 children, there had to be plenty of kids that were the same height. Right. I mean, there were some that were too tall. My brother was too tall as well. He was in the same grade as Tim's sister. So they both got the shaft on that.
Too tall.
That's so
too
funny.
Tall.
So cool how you can like hold that over your brother's head forever.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cool.
And I actually think that one thing that this did for me too is I have never had a complex about being short. I'm only 5'4", and I've always been really proud of being short. And I feel very confident that it was just like impressed on me that like that part of the reason I got that role is because I was short.
Yeah.
So
That's funny.
yeah.
So okay,
Height matters.
so a bunch of strangers show up at a school and they say, "Give us these kids."
Yes.
Did you?
Give us the children.
Give us the children.
Stranger danger.
Right.
Darren in the chat is asking, so did you meet George Lucas? Did he just show up? How did that all work out?
So that's a common question that I wish I could answer. I don't know. I do remember seeing the cameras and, a lot of people. I do remember Marge the elephant very vividly because that was
Shout out
such
to
a
Marge.
crazy thing to see. So,
The desert.
if he was there, I certainly saw him, but I would not remember if I met him.
Just some guy. He was just a
Just
guy
some
back
dude.
then.
Yeah, they all were.
Shout out real quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned her. Shout out to Margie the elephant. We just spent the
Yeah.
weekend with Ellen Fernandez up
Oh,
at
I
Metal
love
Art
Ellen.
Comic Con in Oregon. So we even have Nancy Joe who was there in Oregon with us. So shout out to Nancy who's in the chat right now.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So
Very
yeah,
cool.
he has some loving stories of Margie, so it's great. It's great.
Yeah. I was really nice to hear those at that May 4th movie because I hadn't heard some of them before. So I thought that was really cool. That he was
thought it
close
was-
to Margie.
I thought it was really cool that that one of Tim's memories is playing with a Tusken Raider helmet.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking, I'm
I
like,
know.
that's the guy like next to you, like the next table over is that guy. Like, did you guys ever put it together? And they kind of looked at each other like, oh yeah, well, I guess so, yeah.
He may have been, you may have been wearing that helmet that's sitting right next to him right now.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So okay,
Yeah.
so you're the right height. You're cast in the film. Your brother's crying in the corner.
Yeah. Very much so.
Some strange men take you and a bunch of other kids away. 8 kids, right? 8 kids.
Yeah, 8 kids.
Take them away
and to a hotel room.
into the hotel room.
Wow.
And because it's in the 70s, it's okay. It's all right. Everything's all right.
It's fine. No, to be fair, my stepmom was chaperoning.
Okay. I was gonna say this is how like an episode of Unsolved Mysteries starts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Totally.
That's just nuts to me that just happened.
Yeah.
So
I'm
they take
loving
you
it back.
into the desert. So can you give us some stories from what it was like, getting into the costumes? Because all the costumes were made, right? That's the whole reason you had to be a specific height.
Yeah, exactly. So we would just basically what they did was took us to the hotel. The first day was to be fitted. So just to make sure everybody had their costume, were comfortable with it, and tried everything on to make sure that they had everything together. And so that was the first day. And then the second day was the filming. But I do remember just like trying everything on and how cool that was. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty, the first day was pretty easy compared to the next day.
Because they had you guys bodybuilding the next day, right? Because you had to like.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. I don't know what they were thinking. Like that all these little kids would be able to pick up R2-D2. I mean, it's so funny to me that, yeah, I mean, because our feet, we were wearing our shoes and they took, like brown gauze and just like wrapped our feet. And I mean, the hill that you see us climbing up and down, I mean, that was just, yeah, it was pretty funny that we, and I realize why it took all day now, because having 8 children like shuffle up and down that hill over and over again. And then, a few of the other scenes, but that was definitely the hardest one, because I do remember how cool I thought it was. And then I was like, are we done yet? Like,
Yeah.
So how
You want us
hot
to go
were
up
those
again?
costumes?
They were, luckily it was during a season because Death Valley does have some seasons. So it wasn't hot. It was pretty cold out. Like, I mean, I was wearing like pants and a sweatshirt. So it wasn't bad. That part wasn't bad. The part that was hard was how cumbersome they were. Like, you can really tell the difference between I see Let's Create had asked this question about like he didn't know they were kids instead of little people. Some of the scenes are shot with little people, and the others were shot in Death Valley with kids, and you can definitely tell the difference because if you really pay attention to those scenes, little people they move very smoothly, and they're adults. Like they're definitely moving much more gracefully than the children are.
And then I would assume the ones that were actually acting were probably like the adults, the little people.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
You have the scenes where like you obviously see a bunch of Jawas around, but then you have like ones that are making motions to do stuff and things like that. You would assume that those
totally. Yeah.
And the story behind that was, so they did all the principal shooting in Tunisia.
Right.
And then coming back to the States to, edit the film together. I guess they lost some stuff or had to do some pickups. And that's why they were in Death Valley, right?
Exactly. So which I had only learned about 4 or 5 years ago. What happened was, I guess a bunch of film was overexposed. And so they couldn't go back. And there were enough of just the small scenes that they said they thought they could put it together. And Lucas also wanted to add a few things too. So that's why they decided to do Death Valley. But it was one of the, I just remembered one of the things you were asking, the things that happened that day. One of my favorite is just that R2-D2's head falls off when we're carrying him. So we're like shuffling up this hill over and over again. And I think at some point they realized he was too heavy for us. I mean, he was really heavy. And so I think that we have some pictures that one of the moms took, Joe Weber's mother, Sally, and behind the scenes. And so there's one picture of all these three or four guys working on R2-D2. And I think they were trying to lighten him up a bit. But in the process, when we got back to filming again, we were walking up the hill and his head fell off, and they're yelling at us to like keep going, keep moving. They didn't understand why we had all stopped, and
that's funny.
The head falls off and Kenny Baker's in there just like, hey, keep going, come on.
Hi.
Do I get a break now?
Trying to get a ride, come on.
That's funny. Any chance you remember how much those weigh or R2 weighed?
No, I mean, I'm sure somebody knows that, but I don't know that. I just remember it being heavy.
Yeah,
there's a nerd out there that knows that.
For sure. Yeah, 8 kids apparently could struggle carrying him up and down hill.
So, did you know the rest of the cast? Was it all kids from your school?
Yeah, so we only had 60 children from kindergarten through 6th grade. So, and it was even like total Little House on the Prairie style. Like it was like this one big room, and they had these partitions up, and I think it was like kindergarten, and then 1st and 2nd grade was taught together, and then 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th. So I think it was very, very small.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was
so it was just a little like, I don't know, little building
in the middle of nowhere. Yes, right. This little tiny, and it had like, what amazes me is I look back at pictures, and the playground has like metal slides.
That's
I was like,
why?
Holy crap! We were. I don't remember ever not using that stuff, but yeah, everything was metal. 120.
So
3rd-degree burns on children on a regular basis.
That's bizarre.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. If you want to have a good time, go have a good time. Quit
That's
complaining.
right.
Quit complaining.
You better
So,
get out there and play. Okay.
Yeah, it was great. Like,
burns on my butt.
let's go back to the costume. So we know there was a robe, and you talked about them taping up your shoes. I'm just thinking about
Yeah.
cosplayers and what cosplayers would ask right now. So robe,
like the little the eyes.
yeah. What are the eyes? What were the eyes?
So
Were
the
they like little
eyes were
lights?
yeah, it was like a battery pack that they kind of put around your neck, and then just like little from what I remember, like little cap that kind of go around that you had to put around your head. And I did not want to wear those. I do distinctly remember that. Like I was like claustrophobic already. And
Right.
so I remember like really, and that's again probably why they were trying to find kids that were like cool, because
Cooperative.
I did it anyways, but
Be cool, kid. Just be cool.
yeah, just put them on.
Put them on.
We paid you $25 for this.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
you're like pandemic and wearing a mask. You're like whatever. It's not a Jawa
Yeah,
costume.
no problem now.
Right.
Yeah.
I know, right?
easy.
That's funny. So I think we asked Tim this question, but like he had a bandolier. Can you tell
Yeah.
who you are in the scenes?
So after kind of looking through photos of us as children, I always thought that I was one of the shorter ones, but apparently I actually was one of the tallest kids.
Oh, wow.
So because of that, I think that I can pick myself out on screen. And I explained to Tim, I was like, Tim, you've got to be the smallest one. Like there's no way. And in fact, he was 4 years old. I mean, there's no way. He probably like there's one kid who literally is the smallest and kind of has just his hand on it, not helping at all. And I'm like,
Right.
that's Tim. I guarantee you.
I love it.
That is awesome. We are gonna
So
call Tim out now and be like, dude, so you were the one that
Yeah.
you're the one that wasn't helping at all.
Wasn't pulling your weight, Tim.
Yeah. I told you that,
Just
Andrew.
because you're 4, you think you can get away with that?
Yeah, this is so good. So good.
Like I said, he's gonna be like, who told you that, Andrea?
Exactly.
You know, Tim's our buddy. We've seen him a bunch. You know, he lives in the same town as us.
I was just texting him today. I love Tim.
So now it's like we're not even starstruck by him anymore. Like with you, we're still starstruck. But like with him, it's just like, oh, that's Tim. You know, like, yeah,
There's Tim, the local Jawa.
yeah,
My
exactly.
buddy Tim.
Just a random Jawa. Always just got one hand on the droid.
Sacramento
and that's it.
Jawa.
Old one-handed droid Jawa. That's him.
Only one hand, huh?
That's right.
All right, so that was you in the film. Super hot. Is that what you're called, Hot Jawa? Super hot in the costume.
I'll leave
Tim-
that. I'll leave that to people's imagination.
Tim being lazy.
Yeah.
Once it came out, I think we talked to him about it, and he was like, I didn't see it. Did you see Star Wars right away?
Yeah, I didn't see it when it came out because no theaters. Right, the closest theater would have been Las Vegas. So, but
Oh,
I
wow.
spent my summers in Florida with my mother in Sarasota, Florida, and so luckily, so she immediately took me to the theater, and I got to watch it in June.
Oh, that's not bad. That's
Not too far. I know, not too bad, right? Yeah. so I
maybe
got to see it
maybe
in
a
June.
month, maybe a few
Yeah.
weeks after.
Yeah. Yeah. And
By
I
the way,
totally remember it. I
that's
mean,
awesome.
it was awesome. I went with my mom and my brother, and my mom immediately was like, tell me when it's you. I was like,
You're like, I don't know.
there I am. That's me. Well, because I knew I carried R2D2, right? So I was
Yeah.
like, thank God. I was like, but she stand up and like yell that's my daughter.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
You're like, and there's Tim with his one finger
And
on
there's
the
that
droid.
Tim kid.
That's funny. By the way, Steve, who's in the chat right now on Facebook, we need you to confirm how much an R2D2 droid weighs, since he's our resident R2 builder. He builds droids.
They're not that heavy, mainly
nice.
because I remember we had to lift one up at the event that we were at in Sacramento.
The May the 4th event.
The May
So
the 4th
Steve was
event.
there with us.
That's
Right.
right.
And
Just
it wasn't-
were you 8 years old when you tried to lift it?
No, I'm
Or
a
friend.
I'm a 35-year-old, former military guy, just
Fine. So what your easy might not have been our easy, but yeah, I have to imagine that
it wasn't the same as an 8-year-old trying to.
it was
pick
probably
up.
like one dude is like, yeah, this is no problem. He got it out of the car, and then we were all like, oh, we can't pick this up.
Yeah, that's funny.
You're trying to have children pick this up.
We might have to talk about the name. We might have to talk about the name since Darren, Let's Create 08 is asking for merchandise. So, and by the way, here's some merchandise
too. Those are great shirts. Yeah, I really like that one.
Because I can't see the screen. Are you wearing the cool Jawa shirt?
I am wearing the cool Jawa shirt, the brand new one.
I thought about wearing
the new one,
shirt, but I was like, no, I should be wearing a hot Jawa shirt, and I don't have one of those.
Well, if somebody would make them,
right? We'll get working on that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We'll get working on that for you.
Doing that?
Because this one,
we're doing it as a favor, it's just what it is.
Who wants the cool Jawa? It's a second shirt. Whatever. I want the new
cool Jawa, and then there's the hot Jawa. Like, which one do you want to wear?
Exactly.
I mean,
Tim, we love you.
I know. Where is Tim?
Yeah, I know, right. Speaking of, so Steve jumped back into the chat. About 75 pounds for an R2D2 droid. That's pretty.
Okay.
That's pretty.
So that's pretty. That's
also
for kids, yeah.
I was saying, but also consider
for 8 kids that would be, because it's also awkward. Like that was the other part, right?
Over your head. Uphill.
Well, it was sort of not quite over our head, like we were supposed, but it was it was sort of like, I think, kind of chest length. That wasn't like down low. So I think it was. Yeah.
I was also going to say, like, also consider, like, was that a prop R2D2 or was it the full R2D2 that had like everything inside of it?
Right. I wonder. I mean, if you think about their budget, I kind of think it was probably the one that they had.
Right.
Right.
Low budget movie.
Oh, look, and actually, Steve, so smart. R2 has no hold points, so it's just this weird cylinder thing that you're trying to hold. That's so smart.
And just his
like the legs,
really.
That was about it.
That's interesting. Okay, so you saw it in Sarasota, Florida.
Yes.
And your mom's like, "That's my daughter. That's amazing."
Yeah, it's so exciting.
Everybody else is like, "Down in front, lady."
He's just like, clap for my daughter. Okay.
Yes, right. They all just looked like, what is she talking about?
So
we're in Florida.
What was it like seeing the movie, and how did it like change your life, so to speak, like,
or impact you?
I mean, I was too young for it to change my life, but I mean, I just thought it was amazing. Like, I thought the movie was incredible. And it was weird because I'm sure it was just the age I was at, but I don't remember being like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in that movie. It was more like, what a great movie.
Yeah.
That was cool. Right. It wasn't like there was no like, pride or I don't know. Like I wasn't thinking, wow, look at me. I got to be in this movie. I just was like, it was such a great movie. I definitely didn't realize until later, the power of how awesome it was. Uh-oh. Tim's here.
Oh my goodness. He couldn't resist.
Coming, Tim.
I hope you didn't hear us talking about him earlier.
He couldn't resist. Well, he'll go back and have to watch it all again.
That's right.
We need the download. So Tim, you got to watch it again if you want to. See what we were saying. All good things.
I will give him a preview of all things. So one hand, Tim. That's it.
Oh my God, that sounds terrible.
One finger on the droid.
One finger on the droid, man.
Shout out to Tim. Such a good guy.
Oh, he is.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
Yeah.
as a child, like maybe it didn't affect you. Like we just talked to
It's really
Jordan.
cool.
We just talked to Jordan Redmond this past weekend at Metal Art Comic Con. She was a little girl actress character in Hocus Pocus.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a
so
great movie.
we're like, how did that affect your life? Did it go nuts? She's like, I was a typical Orange County kid. My mom was running me to like photo shoots and like movie auditions and like modeling stuff. So she's like, I got it, and it was just like, and so I landed another role. Like, okay, great. But we're like,
the same story we hear from everybody that grew up in the Valley. It's like, if you grew up in the Valley, then you were an actor, and that's basically
right. Yeah, totally.
He's like,
I mean, just living in a small town, I think, just completely changes what the visual is on it, right? Because everybody at that school, nobody was learning anything new. They didn't think it was like, that cool, I guess. Although I guess maybe after they saw the movie, they did.
Well, there was nothing like it. We were talking about that this past weekend. There was nothing like this. This is such a game changer, and you were part of it. Like, it changed film. It changed film technology. It changed pop culture. This is a turning point in I guess, the mass audience. What were you saying, Phil? This is like the first blockbuster?
Yeah, so I mean, this is the movie that defined the term blockbuster. Like basically before Star Wars, there wasn't a movie where people lined up around the block to go and watch a movie. Yeah. And Star Wars was the first time that happened. So I mean, it defined the term blockbuster.
So nuts.
And something that we learned from C. Andrew Nelson over the weekend was like not only just the blockbusters, but like, before that, summer movies were like, that's where movies went to die.
Right.
Oh, like
movies got
the schedule. Right.
Yeah. When I remember learning about that the way he when he released it was just like the worst time to do it, which is crazy.
But it was because Fox had no confidence in it, so Fox was just like, okay, well, let's put it in the summer, where that way it bombs and we're not going to lose any money. I mean, Deadpool is another example of Fox making that same mistake and it being like a huge hit. So I mean, like, it's kind of evident at this point that Fox really doesn't know when to release movies.
True.
Funny. So jumping back, now that we all know, like, fast forward however many years, now that we know Star Wars is so big and so iconic, did you like go around telling people like, hey, I was in Star Wars, like, that Jawa, that was me,
You get because of that, just like, hey, check it out, I was a Jawa in Star Wars.
Mean, I never ever gave that information first, but it's funny because when I look back, I realized that everybody loves Star Wars. So there was always ample opportunity for me to say that I was in Star Wars. But to be fair, usually I did not say it. Usually it was like my roommate or my brother or somebody, like when you're in a group, right? They'll go, she was in Star Wars. You have to hear a story. She was in Star Wars. So it wasn't, I generally, luckily, never had to say like, well, excuse me, I have a great story.
Check it out.
There's always somebody like, this is really cool.
I would have milked
but
it.
People would immediately, absolutely. People's eyes would immediately change in the way that they looked at you.
Right.
Really?
If the line was too deep at the grocery store, I'd be like, hey, everybody, guess what? I was in Star Wars. Hollywood royalty coming through.
That's right. Hollywood royalty.
I would milk it nonstop. So,
I mean, I do remember the first time I was asked for my autograph. There was another Jawa, Joe Weber, he and I dressed up as Princess Leia and Luke for that Halloween. And so he and I went trick-or-treating together around the teeny tiny neighborhood.
Right.
And we got to like one of the first houses, and they were like, "Oh, can we get your autograph?" And I was like, "Oh God, I mean, yeah, I you should know, like, I wasn't really Princess Leia in the movie. I was just like a Jawa." And I'm really explaining this to this woman, like, really,
we're really in the movie.
you were Princess Leia, really? You look so much like her.
Yeah,
with your blonde hair and your
Right. That's great.
3 feet.
so much look like Carrie Fisher.
That's so funny.
I mean, I remember the panic. I was like, "Oh my God!" I mean,
Right.
Joe, does she think we're?
That's so good.
I mean, I still think it's weird when people ask for my autograph.
I mean, Tim tells us all the time about his extreme imposter syndrome. It's like,
Yeah, it's hard not to have. I mean, we're this late in the game, right? You come in and you're all of a sudden being asked for your autograph, and you just feel like this can't be real. Like, because I think that for Tim and I, we had this, totally different perspective on the fandom. Just that people loved the movie and people like to watch the movie, and I don't think it ever really dawned on us the collecting, the love collecting part. Like, there's one thing about collectors, but then there's also people who just do it because they really deeply love Star Wars. And so that's the part that always is a little, hard to wrap your head around, because it's awesome. I mean, when we went to our first con, it was so cool because we had no idea what to expect, and people were just so kind and, really just wanted to talk about it. And, one girl, little girl, she was 8 years old. She had drawn Jawas for us that I still have. But yeah, super sweet. And it was just really cool. It was a great experience. And I think that did make me realize and understand it more, but we still, we definitely still have that, like,
let's talk about your con experience. I mean, when we met you on the May the 4th event here in Sacramento, you were signing autographs. So
yeah.
What was your first con? Where was it? What
Birmingham,
was the reception
England.
like?
It was really, it was amazing. It was, Birmingham, England. And I had Tim and I had kind of the same experience. We were contacted by somebody who did autograph signings for a small group in the Star Wars community, and he was an autograph authenticator, Steve Grad, and he reached out and asked if we would be interested in doing a private signing, and I just thought it was incredibly strange, and I didn't understand what he was talking about. And so I was like, sure. I mean, so after he talked to me about it, he's like, listen, it's just, there's a bunch of people out there really want your autograph. You don't have to meet anybody. I'll just come and I'll bring everything. You sign everything. So these two guys show up. Steve's one of them. They could not have been nicer. I adore Steve to this day. He came to my gym, and we, sat down in the basement, and I signed a million things. Yeah. And Steve was very sweet. Like, I didn't understand any of the, I didn't understand like the importance of, autographs, any of that. But, he's telling me where to sign, how to, like, what to sign. And he kept going, you could make your signature like a little bigger if you want. Like, he was trying. I have the worst signature on the planet. It's like horrible. I'm left-handed. I'm like, I scroll across the page. It's teeny tiny. I've been working on it for like 6 years now. I'm doing my best. Tim's is so freaking gorgeous. It irritates me. It's like this gorgeous. I'm like, oh shit. Are you kidding me right now?
Here's Tim's.
Yeah, his is beautiful. Now, where's mine? It's awful.
Yeah. I'm going to get this signed by you. He said he was going to do it, and then he flaked on
I mean, I think that's the other part of my imposter syndrome. I'm like, why in God's name would anybody want this horrible signature?
I totally understand where you're coming from. I'm left-handed too. And like,
Yeah.
sometimes I'm in a management role, and one of the things I dreadfully like I hate is a dry erase board. Because when I
Oh
have to
my
stand in front of,
Yes.
15 people and try to write something on a dry erase board with my left hand, and I'm like smearing it as I go, I'm just like, ah.
Yes.
And
It's
then because
awful.
you're trying not to smear it, you're going like at a weird angle, so you're going
Yes.
crooked. Oh,
And then you end up
It's like-
smearing it more.
Yeah, and then it's all it's a shaky signature.
oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
and that's the one thing I'm always afraid of is smudging someone's gorgeous piece of work that they've given me, right? Especially those
Right.
posters. So I'm really conscientious about that.
So that is my next question. What is the craziest thing you've signed, or like the most like, I can't believe I'm signing this moment, or whatever it may be? Is there something that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm touching this?
I mean, I hate to say it's probably the same thing that Tim, there was this one poster that literally had every single person that's ever touched Star Wars
Oh my
on it.
gosh.
Every single person.
I heard about that
And
one.
I think it was Steve's, and I think he just had recently sold it, and it went for a lot of money. Like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Tens of thousands.
And that's
Yes,
the thing.
it
It's
was.
like
actually.
the importance of it. Yeah. Like the importance of something like that is like, it doesn't matter how big or small the cast member was, that you were a cast member.
Mhm.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, and especially like the people that created it. I'm so fascinated by all those guys. And I've been able to do a panel with some of the, the creators. And those guys are just amazing. Like they have the best stories.
Whoa.
behind the
Tim
scenes
just
and
chimed in.
Model making, and it's awesome.
What's Timmy saying?
He said it went for $1 million.
Oof.
Wow.
No, it didn't. Are you serious?
He's
It was
like
a lot. I remember.
snickering.
I know I saw the number, but I was like, that can't be right. But
You're like,
yeah,
that's
it
a
was
lot
a
of
lot. We need
zeros.
to look it up. Look it up,
I just-
Tim.
I just
Seriously.
utinied in my pants when I saw that number.
Oh
So,
my God.
Jawas are making like a huge comeback right now. You guys are in the right
I
position right now.
know.
They're all
Yes.
over. They're all over the
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Boba Fett, Obi-Wan. They've been in like every series that Disney Plus has
Yeah.
put out. Do you stay in contact with other Jawas from your Sandcrawler, from the new Jawas? Like, have you met anybody or stay in touch with
So
others?
I have only met a few, and oh gosh, this is terrible. I'm gonna forget his name, Simon, who I did the first con with. He's really cool, like such a nice guy. But Tim and I are really good friends. Like
Mhm.
we text all the time, and we do see the value in us doing Comic-Cons together. So we did, we kind of made a pact that we would be doing them together, but it just didn't work out because of COVID. And then our schedules were not really mismatched. So we haven't really been able to do that recently, but the first two Comic-Cons we did together, and they were a blast. Like we were so starstruck on the first one in Birmingham. It was nuts. Like I walked into the green room and I was like, I should not be here. This is weird.
That's the thing. is
right?
These English cons that I've seen, like I've seen like the promotions for them and stuff. Like they get some pretty big stars.
Yeah, for sure. Like half the Walking Dead cast was there, and I was big into Walking Dead at the time.
totally.
It was like 6 years ago, I think. Yeah, I think it was 5 years ago we did the con. I think it was 2018, but that was our first one. So 4. But it was amazing. I just turned around and I was like, what is happening? There's so many people there. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, Danny
Always
Glover
wanted
was
to meet
there.
Norman Reedus.
Danny Glover, yes.
Yeah. I love
used
him
to
so
it.
much. I actually
Getting
run
told.
into him a lot because he lives here in San Francisco, but he's
Oh,
rad.
does he live in the city?
I tried to get him to join my gym.
Nice.
Okay.
He's like, my trainer would kill me if I joined your gym. I'm like, you live right next door, though. I'm still working on him.
Okay, we held off on this. But normally we wait till the end of the interview to do your pluggables and whatnot. But we have to ask, how did you come up with the social media handle Hot Jawa? Is it because of Death Valley?
Oh.
Is it?
So I kept it because of that, because I was like, this is funny. But actually, it's kind of a funny story. Like Tim and I were at our first con, and one of the showrunners, it was at the end. It was like the last day, and so we were all like really got to know everybody. It was a lot of fun. So one of the showrunners came over, and he was like, I needed coffee, and he's like, let me go get you guys coffee, and so he went to get coffee, came back. He had a very good sense of humor. So on my coffee cup, it said Hot Jawa. And Tim was like, oh, and then Tim's coffee cup said Standard Jawa.
That's pretty funny, actually.
So Tim like knew he had to immediately shift gears on that, right? He's like, I cannot live with the name Standard Jawa. So he luckily somebody, I think it might have even been Steve. He'll have to tell you the story of how he got cool Jawa. But yeah, it was so great. So I called him Standard Jawa for like months. Like he was Standard Jawa.
That's great.
Yeah, and he's
so I kept it. I was like, because there was this other guy that came over that did promotions and stuff. And he was like, oh, you gotta run with that. That's so good. Like you could be the hot Jawa, blah, blah. So I was like, I changed all my handles and I've kept it. And
it's so cool.
At some point when I'm like 90, I'm going to be like, oh, it's because I lived in the desert. But, now I'll just keep trying to work it.
Just rock it. Hey, Tim, while you're here, I could use a Standard Jawa shirt. Can I get the new Standard Jawa shirt? Maybe a Jawa holding a coffee cup. That'd be great. I will never let him live that down.
Ever. Ever.
So good.
The best part of being friends with the person that we're talking about is that, oh, now we have more inside jokes, and this is going to be great.
That's right.
Look, it's catching everybody. It's going to start trending.
Are they starting to draw Jawa in the chat right now?
Yep.
Yeah. We're gonna get a hashtag and we're gonna put it out there. It's gonna
another
be
reason for him to twist at you. There you go.
Perfect. Okay, that's so awesome. So
that's how I got it.
Please keep that forever and ever and ever. So when you're not selling R2D2 for scrap parts, what are you nerding out on?
The gym, working out, like that's my passion. My husband and I own a gym in San Francisco, and I've been in the industry for a very, very, very long time. So
do you want to plug the gym? Can we do that? Can we plug it?
Yeah, it's called the Firm. It's called the Firm Fitness, and it's on Frederick and Ashbury in San Francisco.
Perfect.
And we do all coached training. So it's not an open gym. It's like everybody is coached. Everybody has their own
nice
trainer program and
personalized. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Like you work out in groups, so it's more cost effective, but you have your own personal routine that we've written up.
Awesome. You have your own regimen set up.
So we find the droid to carry over your head that fits you, right? Whether it's an R2D2 or
BB unit, or
right.
even if it's a mouse droid or a BD,
That'd be great.
I'll take BB-8.
No, trust me, you're going to want to take a BD unit. Those things can sit on your shoulder.
Squints, you might need a mouse droid. You know what I mean?
Oh, they're so cute. Love those.
So how long have you had this gym? Because I think you've mentioned it before in maybe an interview I read a while ago. You've been there for a while, right?
6 years. Yeah, we've been open for 6 years. So yeah, it's been good. 6 going on 7 actually, and we made it through the pandemic, which was not easy.
Congrats, very good for you.
Yeah, right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I worked in the gym industry for a while.
It was rough, but yeah. But everybody's coming back, so that's nice. I think everybody figured out how important working out and staying fit was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
totally. Okay, I got some fun questions for you. What would be the worst movie sequel ever made? And you can't say Star Wars because that doesn't work out.
Wait, does
No,
everybody
at
get
all.
to answer this question?
No.
I
I've
know,
got one
right?
thing.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah, I was
hold
gonna
on.
say I want to hear everybody's.
Squints,
Let
are
me
you in Jawa?
see.
Or were you a
The
Jawa in
worst.
the most iconic film ever? No? Okay. Then let's leave it for the Hollywood stars. Okay.
I want to hear what he has to say. I bet it's good.
Okay. Maybe now.
Oh boy.
Fine.
Maybe
what?
now.
No, now I'm not going to do it.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna make him cry, man.
Poor Tim. He said Tremors. There's like 7 Tremors movies.
I was
There
gonna say,
are-
what is he talking about? Tremors is the best.
I know. That was so much fun.
Tremors has about
I
70
mean-
sequels, so I mean, like, you know.
Reba
Yeah, is he
McEntire,
saying that
great.
they shouldn't have made a sequel? Because that was amazing. I would say
Sequels were terrible.
Footloose should not have a sequel.
Which one?
Footloose.
Footloose
Oh my goodness. That's a good one.
should not have a sequel.
Did it have a sequel? It had a remake, didn't it? It had a remake.
I think they
Yeah.
tried to remake
Yeah.
it, which was a
Yeah.
bad idea.
Yeah, no, they're making a sequel to it right now.
They're making a sequel to Dirty Dancing right now.
Oh, then I sorry, I was completely off.
And that's one I didn't think they would ever do a sequel for, but that one's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Footloose, that's a good one. I think
Yeah.
that's one that doesn't like that premise doesn't quite hold up anymore.
Footloose, footloose, kick
But that's a
up
good
the
one.
Sunday shoes.
I mean,
Okay.
have you guys seen Maverick? Oh,
I haven't seen it yet. I want to
haven't
see it.
yet.
I haven't seen it.
oh God, so good.
So good, huh?
I'm
give it-
Yeah, I might have actually said that one would be a ridiculous remake and or
Mhm.
sequel, and it was unbelievable.
yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about that movie.
Yeah.
So Jackie, who will be on here in a moment, she just saw Top Gun for the first time recently.
Oh, the original.
The original.
Oh, the original.
Yeah. So now I'm not going to go watch that movie without her at this point.
Yeah, you have to wait.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Jackie is the fiance, just so you know.
Yes, yes.
Now she wants
what-
to go
what
play
were the
volleyball.
other- What were the other ones that shouldn't have sequels? I want to hear them.
Oh,
Squints, you got one?
Godzilla versus Bambi. Bambi's Revenge.
Godzilla versus Bambi. Bambi's Revenge.
That's a new one. That's a new one.
That
Okay,
is
I'll give you that.
definitely one I've never heard before, and it's pretty good. I'll give you that one.
We've asked this question to a few different people. We've heard Titanic. Like a Titanic
Ooh.
sequel would not be good.
That's good.
Passion
Yeah.
of the Christ, resurrection reboot.
Yep. That would not be good or politically or religiously
Correct.
correct.
At all.
There were some other
Jesus
ones. That were
Christ Superstar should not
But I
have a
mean,
sequel.
I know, right? No, but the best part of that was the sequel name. He goes like, "It's a Passion of the Christ 2, resurrection reboot," and I was like, he had like the most serious look on his face when he said it, and I was like, "That is the best."
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, one more fun one. Who would you most like to sit next to on a flight for 10 hours and why? So who would you want to spend 10 hours with on a flight and why?
10 hours. That's a pretty long flight.
And again,
Is
it's,
it going to Italy? No, sorry. What?
again, it's anyone past, present, dead or alive. You know, it's like if you had a chance to
Oh,
have a 10-hour.
well, that's a
you can't-
no-brainer then.
can't say Tim.
If
You
they're
can't
not
say
to be
Tim.
dead.
Yeah.
No, because I've done that already, and it was great. Cary Grant.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Cary
Okay.
Grant. For
and
sure.
why? And why?
Because I watched every film he was ever in, and I just thought he was the most amazing actor, and
Sounds
so
good.
I bet he used to do these at the end of his life. I think he was in his 80s. He was doing those shows where he would go around the country and do 1 hour talks. They would just come, he'd go on stage and people would ask him questions. And it was apparently an amazing show. And I never got to see that, And so I would just ask him all of those questions on this 10-hour flight. It would be amazing. Captivated
That is
audience.
That's a
So,
great
Jackie
answer.
Jackie just asked off mic because she's not on mic yet, obviously. She said, do you know about Cary Grant's teeth?
Well, she needs to come on the
Yeah.
stream and explain that because I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you say
Yeah.
his
Cary
teeth?
Grant's teeth?
His teeth, yeah.
Oh, wait. I do distinctly remember. Like, I think he had. It was when he was younger, I think. Oh, I'm not going to remember that story. She's going to have to explain it.
Oh,
But I do remember there's something. I think when he was younger or something. It's something
yeah.
like
He
wooden
had
teeth
he
or
was one of
something.
those first guys with like a gold grill, like the rappers. He was like a first rapper.
He was really poor. His name was actually Archibald. No wonder he changed it, right?
There you go.
No, so he sorry, no, I didn't mean to say no. All of that is correct. I think I'm getting feedback, Philip.
Are you?
Well, I started talking and then I heard myself. Oh, no, I know, but I heard like feedback on myself. I hear myself, but then I heard myself again.
Oh,
I think your mic is on mute. That's what it is.
No, it's not.
You can't hear me?
I can hear
No,
you.
you can hear you.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you now. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Basically, he knocked out his front tooth when he was a kid, and either he didn't have the money to replace it or whatever. Anyways, I'm not really sure what the reasoning behind it was, but instead of having it replaced or fixed, he went to a dentist and they moved his teeth over. So his one of his front teeth is not a front tooth because they just moved it all the way over. It's kind of a thing
What?
that they moved
And he was really poor, so that makes sense.
if you look at like pictures of him really close.
Stop looking at my teeth.
If you look at really close,
Well.
you'll notice that one of his front teeth is actually the little baby tooth that's next to the front tooth. And that tooth
Oh,
and the
No
little
way.
tooth is usually a canine. Yeah.
that is very interesting, Jackie. Thank you.
That's my Carrie.
Like I said, this is why are you looking at me like that? Stop looking at my teeth.
I mean, he doesn't smile a lot, does he?
Mm-mm.
Not with his teeth, anyways.
Okay.
I have a
I'm taking over. I'm taking over. I have to take a look.
Wow. I know. Can you zoom in? This one?
What? Look at that. Is that the one?
I
Is
have
this
a
the one?
Cary Grant book I could go. Wow. Oh, look how handsome he is.
Yeah, look at maybe.
And to
right
be
there.
fair, he probably did get it fixed when he was older, right?
No,
Look at him.
no,
when he had money.
no.
Oh, that was the fix already. He
Yeah,
already had it
That
fixed.
It was too late. You couldn't do anything.
I mean, if you look at pictures, if James is able to zoom in,
I don't
click
think
on
I
the
can. I
picture.
can try.
No, you can click on the picture and it should
It's going to
print
take me to the website. I don't want to go to the website.
on. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, sorry. It's not doing it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, no, he didn't get it fixed. That's how it was for the rest of his life.
Wow. The things you learn on a podcast stream
I mean,
with
we were
Star
just talking,
Wars alums.
well, like we were just talking about Tom Cruise. Have you guys ever looked at Tom Cruise's non-asymmetrical face?
Stop it. You're going to mess with my brain. Stop it.
Yeah. So
No.
look at Tom Cruise's smile and his now normally your two front teeth they like line up with your nose. Right?
Just
One
don't.
of his teeth is under one tooth is under his nose and his whole smile's shifted to the side. If you ever look at his like a picture of him smiling, it is the weirdest thing to look at. And you can't
Now
unsee
I'm
it.
gonna have to go check that out.
'Cause now every time I see him do anything, I have to look at that smile. It's like,
You're like,
I
I can't see this anymore.
I hate you guys for bringing that up. 'Cause
Are
now
you looking
I-
at it right now?
Yeah, you're looking at it.
right.
Oh no.
Oh my god, are you this is fake. Come on.
No.
No, it's real.
I watched.
It's
We were
real.
watching Top Gun. I watched him smile, and I was like, he's always had those fucked up teeth.
Well, he
No,
did.
I
Yeah,
don't
I
wanna
do
know
remember
that.
in his earlier movies he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and he still does. Because I
Yes.
mean, there was like
Yeah,
a recent picture he took that I
Yeah.
looked at that he has. Like every time I see him smile, I can't unsee that, and I see it every time he smiles.
Remember him in Outsiders? Oh my gosh. That's
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay. I gotta stop.
Especially for a dude that smiles as much as he does, because he gets it's crazy that he's always smiling, you know.
Well, it definitely hasn't held him back. Let's just say that.
Oh, no, it hasn't. It's one of those things that you
He still has a few other
That's
things going for him.
crazy.
yeah, like once you see it, you
That
see it, and it's like this is so weird.
Is nuts.
Yeah. Sorry
Wow.
about your teeth, but here's $1 billion movie. You're welcome.
It's more so
Wow,
like
that's a
your
trip.
teeth are messed up, but you're still one of the most handsome men in like Hollywood in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Poor guy.
Nuts. Okay. We're gonna circle this back around. You're in San Francisco or the Bay Area. Young Phil here is also from San Francisco. So we gotta ask,
Hey.
Boy, born and raised.
where are you from again?
We're gonna be there next weekend, actually.
I'm from the Mission.
The Mission. Okay, thank you.
24th
okay.
San Jose to be exact.
We gotta ask this question. What is your favorite taco or favorite taco spot?
Oh shoot.
This
There's-
is very
that's
important.
like asking me what's my favorite music.
Yeah, no,
I
know.
mean,
Who's your
Uh,
favorite child?
if you're a San Francisco native,
right, exactly. I mean, I do love Tacolicious in the Mission.
Ooh, okay.
Like they're really good. They've got, they've got this one platter that you can get like 10 tacos that are all different. The street tacos, they're so good.
I'm listening. That sounds amazing.
Yes, it's delicious.
yeah, I was just saying, like, I don't know if you guys heard me, but I was saying if you don't say papalote, then you have to have a good
Oh, yeah, no, I've eaten there a few times. Can you guys hear my cat?
yes.
It
I'm gonna
sounds
go
cute.
Make her go away. So sorry. She's
It's
so
all good.
ridiculous.
She's good.
Papa Lote,
Papalote, yes.
Mm-hmm.
and that's in the Mission, or
They have a couple locations now, but the original one's in the Mission.
Mission, yeah.
we're gonna need you to put together some kind of like
I know you need to put a
checklist.
list together for me.
Yeah, we gotta do that.
because
We gotta like build a a map. We gotta build a map.
because I'll be honest with you, like I've eaten almost everywhere
Mhm.
in San Francisco, I swear, like thousands of restaurants, but I cannot remember. My husband's the one who remembers everything. Someone was like, and he has that memory where you can say something like, you remember that place that had like the thing and it was like the green thing? And he's like, yeah, I know. And he gives me the name of it. I'm like,
He tells you right up. Okay, yeah.
I don't know much about San Francisco dining.
Oh, James. you know
Darren,
what?
Darren from Let's Create 08 says food in the Mission is crazy expensive. Is the Mission crazy expensive these days?
I wonder if it is now. It wasn't when I was growing up.
yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of
Yeah,
places you
probably
can
is,
find that
yeah.
aren't.
Well, I mean, the Mission's
Yeah.
been gentrified pretty hardcore. So, I mean, I assume that stuff is
Mm.
probably a lot more expensive than it was when I was growing up in the Mission.
Got it.
Where did you go to high school?
I actually ended up moving out to the East Bay, and I went to Liberty in Brentwood. But my brother
Okay.
went to Washington, though.
Oh, okay. That's right by my house.
Nice. Okay. Do you have some advice for anybody trying to get into the film or an iconic franchise like Star Wars? Like,
Be the right height.
yeah, be the right height.
Yeah, right. I have advice for people who want to work at a gym.
Okay, we'll take that. I'll take that.
Certifications.
That's right. Get your certifications. But if you don't get certified, at least have a really good outlook on, and be a real people person, because you can learn anything,
go.
but you can't learn people person skills.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. I remember going
it-
to the gym and the people that were like super like nice and they were encouraging, like even to a fault.
Mhm.
Those are the people I gravitated to versus
Totally. Yeah.
the guys that were just like one more, get it, you
I
know.
talk to myself like that in the gym. I'm just like, all right, you got one more. You got one more. Come on, get it. One
Yeah.
more. Come on.
You
Yeah,
can do it.
you're that guy.
Yeah.
You're
It's
that
good
guy.
to have a cheerleader in there for yourself.
Mhm.
If you can't find someone, you can do it yourself. That's good. Yeah, I would actually like to be, it would be great if somebody would call me for an adult Jawa position because I would take that.
There you go.
People keep asking me to do cosplay of Jawa, and I haven't I've not done that or thought about doing that yet. But
I told
maybe.
him he should probably find a way to get cast in a movie and be like the tallest Jawa that there is in the movie, or like in the TV show. Like in the way that like I pitched it was like
The abnormally tall Jawa.
no, it's like the way you have to pitch it is like like it's Mandalorian season 4, right? Because they've already filmed season 3, so it's like Mandalorian season 4. He's it's like the rematch against the Jawas and the Mandalorian, and then the big freak Jawa walks out and he's like, "Ooh, TD."
Tim wants to be the tall Jawa.
He has to be. He's over 6 foot.
He just walks in and just goes, "Ooh, TD," and then just like beats the crap out of the Mandalorian. And he's just like, "What the hell is happening? I'm getting beat by Jawa."
That's funny. That's funny. Some kind of Mandalorian Jawa. That's what we need.
Aw,
Okay.
that's right.
What is next for you? Do you have anything coming up as far as cons or signings or events?
I mean, not exactly. I think I'm going to be doing the one in Santa Cruz. I
Capitola?
was, yeah. And I really wanted to do the one in Germany, but
Yeah,
didn't work out.
I know Tim just announced that he's going to Germany.
Yeah, I know. That would have been fun. I mean, he and I had decided a long time ago, like we were going to try and do, one local and one, in a different country every year. That was our big plan the first time we went to our first
Mhm.
con, but then, the last 2 years fell apart. But maybe we'll get back on that train again. That would be fun.
Well,
'Cause
awesome.
that's what I'd like to do.
Other than Birmingham, is there any other like overseas cons that you've done?
No, that was the first one. I mean, I would definitely do that again. It's a little tricky, like getting that together, but
Sure.
especially because it's kind of hard, like when you have people who are Tim, lonely Jawa. When you have people who are trying to get you to come do cons and you're not an actor, you have less incentive to do it. You know what I mean? So they're
Mhm.
sort of like they're saying like, oh, we'll get you in front of people and but for me, I mean that's not really what I go for. So if it sounds like a fun con and they're gonna the price is at least reasonable to bring me over, then I'll do it. But a lot of times it's sort of like, well, you could possibly make all this kind of money, but there's no like really guarantee on that. So it gets a little tricky to do those things. Like I do understand why it works out for actors, but for somebody who's not, it's a kind of a big leap. So yeah, I definitely would like to do more of them. And like I said, I really would like to do the one in Germany. But yeah, I don't think that one's going to work out, but
Oh. Well, that's cool. I mean, if
Yeah.
anything, Capitola Comic-Con isn't that far away. It's next year, but
Yeah.
it'll be here so
Yeah.
fast. And it's
you
so
know,
much fun.
yeah.
We like to call it
that's
like
what I heard.
it's like our mini Star Wars celebration.
It
You know,
definitely is.
I think we
That's
had
awesome.
8 to 10 Star Wars actors, and everybody was so nice and so grateful to be there. It was so cool to see that many Star Wars actors and see everybody going nuts for them. It was
That's
so cool.
awesome.
It was so cool.
Yeah,
We had a line.
that sounds like a lot of fun.
Tim had a line the on the Friday, and people were like, is he here? Is the Jawa here? And we're like, no, he's not gonna be here till tomorrow. And they're like, seriously? Like,
Jawa.
yeah, I'm sorry, man. And we
But then
told-
he
Yeah,
just
I
shows
couldn't
up.
do that one because my daughter was it was my daughter's birthday.
Aw. Could have brought her.
I know.
Let her know how cool her mom is.
I know, right? Yeah, now they think I'm cool.
Exactly. Exactly. But yeah, I'm looking forward
There's
to that.
always
That'll be fun.
yeah, no, that'll be a lot of fun. That should be a lot of fun.
So speaking of your kids, do they ever like, Mom, you were in Star Wars? Or is it just like, Mom, another Star Wars story again? Great.
Oh no. If Star Wars is on, they're watching it. If somebody mentions Star Wars, they're telling them all about their mother. The first time my daughter, when she was in kindergarten and she really could understand that I was in Star Wars, I went to pick her up at school one day and I got mobbed by like 35-year-olds that were all like asking me
not 35,
every
30.
crazy question. It was, yeah, they were all like, just like peppering me with questions about what Helena says that you were a Jawa. You have, and it was great. It was such a great moment. And it was really funny because the parents were like, they did not understand what was happening or didn't understand why their kids were freaking out. I was like, yeah, you guys don't get it.
And then the
You're not cool.
nerd parents are just like, wait, what? And just
Yeah.
like swarming through the kids. Like,
They're just like, yeah, no, I was in Star Wars. And they're like, you're in what?
What?
can you sign my kid's textbook? Which is now my textbook.
Yeah. All of a sudden, like when I
I'll
was going to
pay for it,
PTA meetings, people were like, give me that piece of paper.
Right? That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah. And there's always a Jawa. There's always a Jawa at every Halloween party that we go to, which I think is just amazing. I love that.
That's cool. That's cool.
You go to a
Celebrate.
Halloween party and they don't know that you're a Jawa. And they're just like, oh, yeah, look at these
Yeah.
Jawas.
The best part.
And then you look
Real
at
Jawa.
their costume, you're like, not screen accurate. Like,
Yeah.
I had Converse wrapped in gauze. You know,
That's right.
those aren't. It's not
That is
screen accurate.
not authentic.
Yeah, get out of here. That's funny. Okay, so where can everyone follow you? Learn more about your story. Learn how to lift droids. I don't know.
Obviously,
Yeah, I have
droids.
my handle across all social media platforms is hot Jawa.
That's
so
awesome. Good.
Twitter and Instagram and Facebook are all at hot Jawa. And I have a few through the years, like the one thing I always got were people asking me for interviews for articles. So there's some really good articles up because it tells you a lot of the behind the scenes stuff that happened in Death Valley, which is kind of cool.
So cool. So cool. I dig it. And then we'll work on getting you merch so I can retire.
Yes,
this Jawa
please.
shirt.
I don't have it together like Tim does. I have 3 children in my house. I
Right. I get
yeah,
it.
Tim needs to help me more.
There you go. Yeah, he's supposed to be your Jawa BFF. Come on, buddy.
Yeah, he's my partner. What's happening?
Like, you guys do cons together, but he doesn't. Come on, man. Doesn't help you with the
No.
merch.
He's got to help me with the merch.
Andrea, thank you so much. Whenever you have merch, let us know. We're gonna share it,
I
post it,
will.
and the whole thing.
Buy it all.
Buy it all as well.
Yes, I love it.
So now we're gonna do kind of a nerdy bracket. Do we have that nerdy bracket ready to go?
Not sure. James is asking if we're ready for it.
Almost ready.
Yeah. So we haven't finished the last one.
Oh, we're
So-
gonna do okay.
She is gonna come on. We're gonna finish this this last bracket here.
So we typically do like this nerdy bracket where we do like, can Thor beat Superman type thing, and we all kind of talk about it and nerd out about it. You are more than welcome
Nice.
to stay, but we know you're busy.
I love it.
Your cat needs.
She's all for it already. She just said, "I love it." That means she's staying on.
your
Did you
cat
guys
needs loving.
did you guys watch have you guys seen Thor yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
No.
We're
Oh,
gonna
so
watch
good.
it.
We just saw it.
Oh man,
loved it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah.
without
James, my new
any
hero.
without any spoilers.
Yeah,
many-
I won't. Don't worry.
How many utinis would you give it?
Oh yeah, no, I would say I would give it like 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5
Utinis.
Utinis.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
really good. Yeah, it was really good.
Awesome. That's good. I can't wait to go.
Somebody acknowledge his Utini, or he's gonna keep pressing.
Well, no,
the
I
button.
pressed 4 of them because she gave it 4
Oh.
Utinis. You guys heard those Utinis, right?
This is my new movie rating
Really?
system. That's my new job. I rate
There you
movies.
the Utini Theater Company is jumping in. All right, Philippe, you want to add in Jackie? Jacques?
She's in.
What?
No, she's in.
Oh, she's in. Okay, cool. So we're gonna do our bracket thing. I don't know where we left off. I think I'm gonna need a recap.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
James is asking for a recap of the recap.
I don't know. This whole bracket got a little messy.
Oh man.
What the theme is Marvel Cinematic Universe bracket broken up into science, magic, genes, and guns.
Oh, science, magic, genes.
Yeah,
Yeah, so like
GENES, like your
Oh.
DNA.
Yeah.
Oh, not like
Genetic
Death, not
powers.
like Levi.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, no, not like Levi's, dude.
I'm like Thor wins that one. Thor is gonna win that one.
He has the best jeans.
Yeah,
Whose butt looks best in jeans?
and whose looks best out of jeans? Because I heard he bears his butt. Okay.
Okay, so the left side of the bracket, it is that one I guess came down to the Hulk. Guess it was Captain America versus Ant-Man. Captain America won that. Vision versus Hulk. Hulk won that. And then Hulk against Captain America. Hulk won. Actually, I don't. No, okay, yeah, no, it says Hulk. Never mind. And then below that was Thor versus Nebula.
Okay.
Thor won that, and then Scarlet Witch versus Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange won that. Went up against Thor. Doctor Strange won, and then Hulk and Strange went head to head, and Hulk came out on top of that one. Then on the right side of the bracket, I think I did. I think I either did that one in its entirety or I did it in its partiality. Let me look. Okay, no, I think I did it. Okay. That was Captain Marvel versus Gamora. Captain Marvel won that one. Then it was Spider-Man versus Black Panther. Spider-Man won that one. I think Spider-Man was the Padme of this actually.
Yeah, because I was like, I was going Black Panther on that.
And then it was, or maybe we.
I mean, I'm not upset at that though, because like Spider-Man still kicked that ass.
No, I'm trying to think if we finished this.
Hey, while you're getting that organized, I think I'm gonna jump off because I have 3 kids calling me like little cats. So I think they're like, Dad, dinner. So I'm gonna jump off. Andrea, thank you so much. Can't wait to do it again. And I'm gonna try.
For sure. It was so fun.
I'm gonna try. What is it? Taco-licious? Taco scrumptious?
Tacolicious.
Taco-licious. I'm gonna have to try that. Thanks, everybody. We'll see ya.
All right, James.
Bye, Andrea. Take care.
We'll see you on
Bye,
Wednesday. buddy.
James.
Okay, I remember what I did is we closed out the DNA segment of it and Spider-Man won. That's what it was. Okay, so then we were moving on to guns. We got down to Iron Man versus Hawkeye. And it was a tie.
For Iron Man versus Hawkeye?
Yeah, I think we got going on something else.
I don't know if we did Iron Man versus Hawkeye.
That one?
But I did because it says Iron Man and it has everybody's votes.
Okay.
But oh no, wait. I think no, Iron Man won that one. Because I have okay, yeah, it was Iron Man that won that one. Okay.
Okay, cool. That would have been
Or
surprising.
no. Oh wait, no, they didn't go up against each other yet because I needed to move on to the next one. Okay, so that was Iron Man versus Peggy Carter. Iron Man won that one. Hawkeye versus Falcon. Hawkeye won that one. Next up is going to be War Machine versus o-
Okoye.
Okoye.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I need to look at this. So yeah, so we have War Machine versus Okoye.
This one might be kind of a hard
And
call.
this is who can beat who, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who can beat who in the fight?
Okay.
This one might be a little bit hard because like Okoye, she's beaten people in armor like to a bloody pulp.
Mhm.
But like War Machine is basically Iron Man with like extra guns on his back.
Right.
But it's like I don't know because like Okoye, she's just like a regular. But I mean, I guess they're both regular people. But I mean, like her combat skills are like unmatched by anybody.
What are their combat skills?
So she is the head of the royal guard for Wakanda.
Mhm.
And she basically like everybody that she goes up against, she doesn't just beat them, she like decimates them.
Yeah, pulverized.
Yeah, and it's because she's just like, you know, because the Dora Milaje are like the best warriors in like the world. So it's kind of like, you know, you have her and her combat experience and her skill set in general being as good as it is, even though she's just like a human.
Uh-huh.
But then you also have
Really quick, I don't mean to interrupt you.
Mhm,
Is there any reason why we don't have you on the big screen?
because because James had her on the screen. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
I thought okay.
That's fine.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Because she's like, oh, I don't think we can see the build.
We can't. It's just in a teeny tiny corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so War Machine, so Rhodey, I mean, he's basically Iron Man. You know, he's got a flying tank around his body.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is that she uses vibranium, and that can pierce that armor really easily.
Mm-hmm.
Like her spear and like her accuracy, like she could basically throw that spear and she would hit War Machine fairly easily.
Okay. So what's your vote for?
I think I go Okoye. I think because they're both combat vets, because Rhodey is a colonel in the Air Force, but I mean, I think she has more hand-to-hand experience and she has more general combat experience. I think I go Okoye on that.
What about you, Andrea? Or
I am agreeing because I think she's such a badass.
Yeah.
She's like one of my favorite characters. So you were way more eloquent in explaining why, but I just think, yeah, she's like every time she's on screen, you're like, you just know, like people are gonna get their.
You know
asses
she's
kicked.
gonna mess a bunch of stuff up. Like the scene, and I always think about this when not Killmonger, but in the first movie when Ulysses S. Claw is in the jail, and the federal agent says something to T'Challa and puts his hand on his shoulder, and she like immediately wrenches back, and he goes, "Oh, calm down, calm down." You know, like she's just about to like murder him for touching the king.
what about you, Squints?
Okoye.
There's only one person that is voting War Machine, and that's Darren.
You know, it's funny. I mean, like War Machine, I have a lot of nostalgia to War Machine. When I was a kid, I preferred War Machine over Iron Man. And I mean, you know, like this is comic book days, you know, because they didn't have the movies back then, obviously. I knew War Machine, and War Machine was easily one of my more like favorite characters. I thought he was way more badass than Iron Man. So I have like a lot of nostalgic attachment to War Machine, but in this case, and especially because it's MCU, you know, definitely Okoye.
Was that in comic books or was there a TV show?
There was a cartoon in the 90s.
Mm.
But I knew him mostly from the comics.
Okay. Okay, and just us. And then, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and call that one with Okoye.
All right.
And then next up, we have. I don't know how to work this, but I'll figure it out. Okay. Next up, we have. This is gonna is Black Widow versus Nick Fury.
Ooh, Black Widow versus Nick Fury.
Hmm.
Very similar skill sets.
Yeah.
In what way?
They pretty much are like the same, only he's older.
Mm.
Like they have the same skill set.
What is that?
Like the way that they fight and the way that they strategize. Mainly because he's her boss, right? So it's just kind of like that's like the
Why do I feel like I know who Nick Fury?
Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why do I knocked something over? Okay.
But she was trained as like since she was a little kid
Yeah.
to be an ass kicker. Like it was in her DNA. Like she's always been.
Yeah, and I mean she was in the Red Room, so I mean like essentially she is going to be the Russian equivalent to the same kind of programs that Nick Fury was in. The difference being that she defected from Russia to be an American, and she started working for American organizations. I guess at the point we're at in the MCU, because we're not talking general characters, we're saying like who would kick whose ass in a fight right now. It's probably gonna be like Black Widow is probably going to be the one who comes on top of that. Nick Fury's going to probably outthink her, but there's only so much like punches to the face he's going to take.
Oh, Nick Fury is the guy who assembled the Avengers.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, there's only so many times that Nick's going to get like beat up. I mean, and Nick can take a beating. If you remember from Winter Soldier, he got shot, he got blown up, and he was still like kicking. Like Nick Fury can survive.
Trying to think. I can't make a decision. I feel like if it's actually Samuel L. Jackson, he's not going to be the one.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like at the point where they're at right now, I'm going Black Widow.
Okay.
So am
I. Okay. What about you, Andrea?
Yeah, for sure, Black Widow. And I'm so sorry, you guys. I do have to jump off because my family is informing me that they're all waiting for me to eat.
Okay.
Okay.
No worries. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
No worries. We had a blast. It was fun. You're welcome to come on again anytime you want.
That's awesome. I really had a good time. You guys are a lot of fun. It was nice to meet you all.
Yeah. Nice meeting you too.
Bye.
Absolutely.
All
right,
right.
Andrew. You have a good night. All right.
You too.
As a send off, she's already gone. I was gonna do these. All right. So let's go ahead and finish this bracket.
Let's see. Next Fury versus who? So it's Nick Fury
versus Black Widow.
No. She's saying who's next.
No, somebody asked in the
No,
chat.
Tyler was asking.
I think he put next Fury, but I think he meant Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Like I said, like Nick Fury when he was younger, maybe could have like held up against Black Widow, but like Black Widow's just and now that I'm like really thinking about it, like also you really think about the Black Widow movie was like pretty current and she was beating the crap out of their Nick Fury equivalent.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with
It's James.
Oh, the Jamez is back. Return of the Jamez.
I was just coming to take down. I'm coming to take down my my message.
Your message.
What is that? Oh, recap?
I
Not to be
don't
on
know.
the screen, you weirdos.
Oh, you're already
Yeah,
on.
whatever.
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to switch it back to screen. But I
Oh,
can't.
I got
But I can't figure it out. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, you
Okay.
didn't want people to see your pretty face?
That's more
Apparently not.
Okay. So there's 2 for Nick Fury.
And I think that's like the argument that I made at first. I think is what people are going with is that he has all the experience, but again, like you put him in a fight against Black Widow right now, right? And I guess right now he would win because she's dead. But I mean, like, I guess at the end before she dies, you know, like Nick Fury against Black Widow. Black Widow is gonna mop the floor with him.
Mhm. All right. So far we have 2 for Nick Fury and 5 for Black Widow. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and call Black Widow on that one. And then we're gonna go back up to Iron Man versus Hawkeye.
Who's a hot guy?
Hawkeye, sorry.
No, I always say that when
Oh, okay.
we bring up his name.
Okay, so Iron Man versus Hawkeye.
Iron Man.
I was gonna say I'm gonna go Iron Man, but I know the chat is probably gonna start saying Hawkeye
Why would they say that?
because that's what they did last week. Hawkeye was our Padme.
Mm.
So I was like, how is he gonna beat Falcon? Falcon is Captain America. How does he beat Falcon?
What's your vote?
Iron Man. Iron Man for sure.
No brainer, Iron Man.
Mhm.
What about you, Squints? Or you already, yeah, never mind. You already voted. That's right. I guess maybe I was waiting on my own vote. All right. Any more in the chat for Iron Man versus Hawkeye? Going once. Going twice. Hawkeye is just an archer.
Yeah, but he beat Falcon in the last round.
I don't know how, but
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and call that one with Iron Man. All right. Now we have Okoye
Okoye.
versus Black Widow.
Ooh, it's a hard one. They're both like super badass fighters. So it's like that is a really hard fight.
Okay. Let's break it down.
So both of them are skilled and are both basically like warriors since birth. Okoye, again, like I mentioned before, she is the general of the armies of Wakanda. Which, you know, she knows strategy, she knows combat, she knows war. I mean, like that's kind of what she's like bred. She's like trained for her entire life.
Oh, Darren did make a good point on Hawkeye is that he's helpless without his
Without his arrows.
without his arrows.
Yeah, it's true. He is completely helpless without his arrows. They prove that in the show.
yeah.
Like he was basically like, I can't do anything without my arrows.
That Okoye, James said Okoye didn't get her own movie.
And
There's still time.
exactly.
Oh, whoa.
Okoye might be getting her own movie with Wakanda Forever. And the Dora Milaje have been like they've proven that the Dora Milaje are unmatched in combat. Oh, okay. I'm because I'm just thinking about it right now. But like, okay, so here's the point of reference, right?
Uh-huh.
The Winter Soldier,
Mhm.
aka Bucky, has beaten multiple Black Widows on multiple occasions to the point that they are afraid of him. Like there's not very many people that Black Widows are afraid of, and Bucky Barnes is one of the few people that they are afraid of.
And who is that?
The Winter Soldier.
And that is
He is Captain America's old sidekick, but he became he's basically an assassin.
okay. What does that have to do with Okoye and Black Widow?
That's where I'm coming up from. So
oh, okay.
So Okoye also trained Bucky Barnes when he was the White Wolf when he was in Wakanda. The Dora Milaje wiped the floor with the Winter Soldier.
Mhm.
Like easily, like they bested him in combat, like really easily. And again, this being like they're the I was gonna say the Scarlet Witch, but not the Scarlet Witch. The Black Widows are afraid of him because of the damage that he can do,
Mhm.
and he, as powerful and as skilled in combat as he is, he gets the floor wiped with him when he fights the Dora Milaje.
Mm.
So I would say, given that she is the greatest of all the Dora Milaje, that I would go with Okoye on this.
Okay. What about you, Squints?
It's a tough one, man.
Yeah. It's a toss up for me. I think I'm still gonna go Okoye.
Okay. So far, we have 4 for Okoye and 3 for Black Widow.
And it's like there's nothing against Black Widow. She's a badass, but I mean, like, I don't think she's gonna beat Okoye as
Yeah.
beast that she is. I got one last bag.
I got one last
Enough.
one.
14 more minutes.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead. Padme. My vote is for Padme. Mad May. Okay.
For Mad May?
It says Mad May. Okay. I'm gonna go
It
ahead.
says Mad Me.
Oh, Mad Me. Sorry.
Oh, you should be mad because Padme should have never won.
Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go with your reasoning on Okoye and vote for Okoye and go ahead and call that one.
Okay.
Where are we at? Okay. So now we have Iron Man versus Okoye.
Iron Man versus Okoye.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So we are down to Iron Man versus Okoye. What are we thinking? How are we approaching this?
Well, has that fight happened?
I'm not sure if it has. I know we've seen Black Panther and Iron Man. And Black Panther pretty much whooped his ass.
Yeah.
But Black Panther's super powered, so
Right.
that's going to be. I mean, the rules are a little bit different with him. Okoye doesn't have superpowers.
What does she have?
She's just like she has combat experience and a lot of she's just a really skilled warrior.
Okay.
Koye has also defeated throngs of aliens.
Yeah.
Who?
Throngs of aliens.
Who?
So Throng?
Koye.
Oh, Koye, sorry. She in Infinity War, she held off the Black Riders.
James said, and a bald head, so she's aerodynamic.
She does have a bald head,
Yeah.
so she is aerodynamic.
Hi, Amy.
Amy Rivas,
Mm-hmm.
how's it going, Amy? He said she's got a bald head, so she's aerodynamic.
Oh,
Uh-oh, I missed him, but Aaron Simonich is in the building.
Oh shit! What did he say?
He said, hey, you little shit, Stick is keeping an eye on you. That's pleasant. That is pleasant.
Very. I
Uh,
feel very safe.
okay, I really only have one official, vote from Tyler. No,
Who-
two. I have one from Darren and one from Tyler, both for Iron Man.
Both for Iron Man.
Unless James is voting Okoye because of the bald
Because
head
the
and the
bald head.
aerodynamic. Or call Hulkbuster to help him. Well, whoever wins this is going up against the
The Hulk.
the
yeah.
Hulk. Is it? Wait, is it?
Yep.
Okay. Philippe, answer the question. You better not do this at the wedding. Just answer the question.
Who said that?
James.
James.
The only thing Philippe is concerned about for the wedding is his suit. So he's
And answering the question.
going to make sure that he has everything in order. Iron Man. Somebody. Oh my God, we have COVID thick.
COVID thick is
Yeah.
in the building.
Okay, wait. I gotta make sure. Eric, not Eric. Aaron, nod your head if you're wearing a shirt. Okay. There you go. I let you in.
Hello.
I just wanted to make sure I
Hello.
was wearing a shirt this time.
I'm
So,
down with
I'm
the
not-
thickness.
I'm not on. Thank you. I'm not on my normal setup, but I wanted to jump in. I'm on my phone. I was keeping an eye on you. I am getting over COVID.
Isn't it fun?
I avoided it for over 2 years. I avoided this
So
shit.
did we.
So did we.
And boy, has it wrecked my life. It has, dude. It's not been fun.
No, it wasn't. It was not pleasant.
The,
And it was
the
worse
first
for
day-
Jackie than it was for me.
the first day, I was super delirious. Like I was just out of it. Like, woo! But I'm finally getting back into it. I kind of just wanted to come say hi. I saw everybody you guys were on, and Jackie and everybody, and I just wanted to say hi. And I love you guys, and I'm not staying on. I'm
Yes,
just
you
letting
would.
you know I'm not staying on. But I appreciate you guys. You guys give me
We love you.
chubbies whenever you're on, and I just love you.
I get a
Most-
chubby.
mo-
I think I have chubby right
Mostly Phil, but you know.
now.
I'm jealous.
I know. I feel so hurt.
I'm sorry.
You just made my
Just
future wife
speaking-
jealous.
I'm speaking the truth.
Oh my God. You need some Mucinex.
Oh yeah, I need that little bastard that's up in my nose. That I love that little mascot. He's the best.
Yeah. Did you lose your taste and smell?
No, I don't think so. I've lost about 10 pounds in 3 days, though. That's a plus.
Oh wow.
I've only eaten
Weight loss
bagels. Yeah, I haven't been I felt like I was gonna puke every time I eat. So, I mean, like a bagel every 36 hours, and yeah, it's not great.
Mm. Yeah. I'm glad we
Yeah.
got it when we did. It
What was that? Like a month or two ago?
was like all of May. I was sick.
Yeah. But so I'm here, and it just sucks because like I have Cadence this month. Like she's here for the whole month of July, my daughter.
Wow.
And of course, I get it, and she's here. So I'm like, she's 11, and every time she knows, and she's like has to stand outside my door. I'm like, don't come in, just stop, and it sucks, but it's whatever.
Yeah. Well, feel better.
Yeah, we hope you get better, man.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, you guys, Bill Burr coming out with a special. I think tomorrow.
Saw that.
Check it out.
Definitely going to.
Did you
Since
see
I'm the only
the?
person that talks about stand-up comedy, kind of over the toply. That's what I do.
Did you see the Dave Chappelle commenting?
Yeah, I did, and it was boring as shit. It was boring, but it wasn't supposed to be funny. Like, yeah, he's a funny dude, and he can talk great. You know what I mean? He's very good at just talking off the cuff. But I opened it thinking it was stand-up, and it definitely isn't stand-up.
No, yeah. I mean, there were parts of it that were funny, just some of the things that he would say.
No,
but,
yeah. But
it definitely wasn't like this is completely hilarious, like what I was expecting from Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. But yeah, so I love you guys. I'll see you later. I might. What's today? Monday? I think it's Monday. I might stop on Wednesday if I'm feeling better, but I don't know.
For sure, man. We're doing a Stranger Things review on Wednesday.
Dude, this is exactly why I want to, because I binged fucking the finals this last season on Sunday, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would be such a fan of Running Up That Hill because I heard it about 40 times during the season.
Right.
And it was not.
You know what's funny is so this is a little bit of a tangent, but so when I lived in the Bay Area, I listened to 107.7 The Bone all the time.
107.7 The Bone. Is that a rock? It has to be a rock station, right?
Yes,
it is.
It is.
Has to be.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is that I always listened to 107.7 The Bone. That's where I kind of like got into all of that music. But
Are the listeners of The Bone called the Boners?
Boneheads. Boneheads.
Damn it.
Anyway,
missed opportunity.
Anyway, so the point is that's the kind of music that I listen to. I mean, I listen to other music, but I do like to listen to that music. So Philippe always tries to play Metallica for me, and I'm like, I don't want to listen to Metallica. And now I love Metallica.
How good was that? And I was like, I watched it. I'm like, it really looks like that dude's playing Metallica. And he is.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
is. I watched an interview. He said he's been playing guitar since he was a kid. And he just had to, I mean, he's only like 24. He's a young kid, but he said, he was like, yeah, I just picked it up. I learned it. He said he didn't do the solo, but he did everything else.
Yeah, it's so funny because like Philippe will try to turn it on. I'm like, I don't want to listen to Metallica, and now that's like that's all I listen to all this weekend.
I love that strange. It took Stranger Things, almost 30 years later to bring Metallica and What's Her Eyebrows to the top of the charts.
Yeah.
Well, 107.7 The Bone, the radio station, because I don't listen to the radio station as much because I'm out of range.
Sure.
But I still follow them on Instagram and stuff. And they did a post. They were like, we think it's strange that everybody is just finding out about Metallica.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit. That's funny. Oh, dear.
Like, oh, you guys are
but it was
Metallica now?
Yeah.
Right.
We've known Metallica forever.
Oh, dear. This is music.
I was laughing so hard because like when he was doing that, he was holding a Slayer tape, and I was like, "Yes,
yeah,
Right.
yeah." That's funny. Yeah, so I might. I hopefully, if I feel better, like I said, every day I've been feeling a little bit better. Today's been the best. I was actually able to get up and fold laundry, which was an accomplishment for me today.
Nice.
Yeah, but you can't let it trick you. It's like the second kid. It's like a sucker baby.
Dude, I know all about that second kid. Ugh.
Or
you
maybe not
think you
first kid, and then it suckers you into the second one.
you think you have it all settled, you think you have it figured out, you have a daughter and she's very nice and calm, and then you have a son and he's like a fucking cannonball all day every day, and you have to relearn how to be a human again.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. I
Shout outs,
definitely get it.
shout outs to Xander. We fucking love this kid.
Yeah.
What an asshole. Oh.
Shout outs to the King of Blood.
Yeah. So, but you guys have fun. I love you. I miss you.
Blood.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
See you later.
All right.
Aaron.
See
All
ya.
right,
Bye,
Aaron.
guys.
Love you, buddy.
How do I
right.
work this thing?
I don't know.
I am the King of Blood. One day he's gonna have to tell that story on here. How like Xander just one day just walked up and just goes, "Daddy, I am the King of Blood." And he's like, "I don't know where it came from. He doesn't even listen to the music I listen to."
Mhm. All right. So we're down to Iron Man and Okoye. I don't think I got any other votes, so we're gonna just go with Iron Man.
Iron Man.
So Iron Man versus the Hulk. Is anybody surprised? I'm not.
I know a lot of people are gonna vote for the Hulk or for Iron Man because the Hulkbuster armor. Because like Iron Man specifically has armor to fight the Hulk. I still say the Hulk will fucking wipe.
I don't know what James is talking about. He said
Ticker
don't
on the bottom.
sticker. Oh, okay. What do I don't know how to. I don't know, is that a banner?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh yeah, if you go to banners. Whichever
There
one.
we
Oh, okay. Don't forget. Okay, that's right. The Hulk. Well, doesn't wouldn't the Hulk just smash him?
That's what it ends up happening.
Yeah,
man.
that's what.
You
Yeah.
know, anybody who thinks that as cool as the Hulkbuster armor is,
Wait,
he doesn't stop him.
Who ends up on the bottom of the Hulk's foot? Is that Thor?
In the movies,
Yeah. Isn't there like this? Isn't there like a joke about it?
that's one of my jokes
Yeah.
about
Does
being
that
at the bottom of the foot. That's more in like the comics, and
Oh, okay.
there's a cartoon where that happens.
Okay.
I'm not sure that that's happened in the movies.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it happens in the comics a lot where he just like stomps somebody.
Oh, my mom's chiming in with Iron Man.
Iron Man. Yeah, the Hulk. The Hulk all the way.
Yeah, I'm saying Hulk.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Say Banner fucking wrecks the shit out of that guy.
Okay, anybody else? Iron Man versus the Hulk for the Supreme Marvel Universe bracket. Ruff, ruff. All right. Who am I going to vote for? I guess I'm going to go with the crowd and I'll just vote Hulk. Anybody else for Iron Man? Going once. Going twice. Sold. Hulk is who is going to beat everybody, and which also means that what is that? Genes? No, it's not genes. What is Hulk? What is he under?
It's technically genetic, but yeah.
It is. So, but what is
Yeah.
he? But he's not under the genetic bracket. So, which one is it? Is it the magic? Which one is it?
That'd be funny if
Hulk.
they made him the magic.
He's under science.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
That works. That makes sense.
So not only did the Hulk win the Marvel Cinematic Universe bracket, he also makes science
Supreme.
the supreme category.
Yeah.
So which means science.
Science wins.
Science. Get in, losers. Let's go do science.
That's a good one.
Okay, well that was exciting.
Very.
Did anybody expect Hulk to win that?
I was unsure because I didn't know who
Yeah.
he was going to go up against. I'm not surprised.
Okay.
It's the Incredible Hulk.
But it's Iron Man.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay.
But you got Tony Stark. Well, I mean, we are going off of the movie universe because I was gonna say Tony Stark is only a badass in the movie universe, and that's what we're going off of. So,
All right, so it's 8:03. Do we have new business, old business, pressing issues, pluggables, anything?
guys, got anything?
I don't have any.
No.
I mean, we can talk about Oregon and how we just got back from Oregon, and that was a crap load of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we 'cause we didn't get a chance to talk about it earlier, but we went to Metal Art Comic Con this weekend, and met a whole bunch of cool people. We got to interview Floydman Sumner, and that was unexpected. And he is one of the artists from the Garbage Pail Kids.
Okay.
And that was a really cool experience.
I don't think you're gonna finish this tonight. It's a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Got anything, Greg?
No, I do not.
Well, let me just finish this last set of pieces here.
Oh, why is it only Monday?
Right.
God, it is only Monday.
It's always like weird after you've like had like a short week, and then the next week you come back and you have to have like a full week.
Yeah. You're like dragging by like Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah. Because like last week I had Monday off.
Yep.
So then I had to come back today, and I'm over it. I think Philippe and I are doing, well, yeah, I guess. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, never mind. Sorry. Philippe and I are going somewhere on Sunday. I was going to say Saturday, and then I was like, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm looking for, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while. So I'm excited to spend the day doing that.
Nice.
I guess that's what I should have told my therapist. I couldn't identify anything that brought me joy. And I really had to think about it.
You could have told her about that.
I know. But then she would tell me that that's a thing living in the past and I need to let it go. That's what she would tell me. So, but I'm still excited to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them what we're doing.
I'm pretty sure the museum is free. But it's there, so in San Francisco near Ocean Beach, there is a place called the Cliff House.
Yep.
The Cliff House has looked very different in its existence. It's looked has multiple different versions of the Cliff House have existed over its lifetime. But recently during the pandemic, they shut the restaurant went out of business and shut it down, and it was taken over by the Parks Department. And there was a lot of talk about it being turned into office buildings, and there was a big uprising about it.
I was actually pretty upset about it when I heard it.
There is a podcast that I listened to that talks about all things on the I don't want to say about all things San Francisco. They really just talk about things on the west side of San Francisco, the outside lands, and it's called the Outside Land San Francisco podcast. And they really do a good job of a podcast and telling stories and of San Francisco history and the host on there, Nicole, she does not give herself enough credit. And people do listen to their podcast. She doesn't think anybody listens to the podcast, but they do. I pretty much listen to it every week on my way to work. But anyway, they last year when the Cliff House closed, they were auctioning off a bunch of stuff, and the Outside Land San Francisco is a part of a nonprofit called Openness of History, and they basically just kind of happened all of a sudden and very quickly. They kind of became the conservators of a lot of memorabilia. So what I believe happened is they got a lot of like donations, like they got a bunch of donations and then went to the Cliff House auction and were able to obtain a number of very significant Cliff House items. And so they had all these items, everything happened very quickly.
Yeah.
And so they didn't really know like what they were going to do with the stuff or how they were going to display it. And I don't know, I can't remember every detail of the story. But if you're interested, again, I already said the name of the podcast. Outside Land San Francisco, or you can also look it up on Openness of History. Anyway, but somehow they got connected with the Parks Department and they were able to open up a small museum in the gift shop of the Cliff House. And so that was going on for a while. And then I think in April they closed, but not like for good. They were actually expanding. And because all of this kind of this whole venture kind of just happened out of nowhere, they needed time to figure out how to do it properly and to preserve and move and all these things that they got. So anyway, so they reopened a couple weeks ago. They actually moved into the restaurant portion of the Cliff House, and they are doing a very special exhibition called Naiad Cove. And one of the really cool things that I'm looking forward to is on a couple of the podcasts that they've released since they've reopened is they worked with some sort of sound engineer, and you may be interested in this sequence, but they worked with some sound engineer and they were able to replicate the sounds, what it sounded like when Playland at the Beach.
Oh, no way.
I
didn't know about this.
Yeah, they were able to replicate like what it sounded like when you were at Playland at the Beach. So when you walk in to the restaurant, they have this sound and it sounds just like it did when Playland at the Beach was like, I don't want to say in its heyday, but like it was enough that most of the people that are there's a number of people who went to Playland at the Beach said that it was like crazy how like spot on it was.
Wow.
And so then they were like joking about like, oh, we need to get like corn dog smells like piped into it to like complete the experience. So anyway, I'm really excited because I never been to the Cliff House. And so I always wanted to go to like the restaurant and stuff, but I'm not gonna be able to do that unless they turn it into a restaurant again. But yeah. I'm excited
that they're closing because it was a good restaurant.
So I am looking forward to going and seeing all of the new exhibition or the new expanded part of the museum, the Naiad Cove. So I'm super excited, and just to go down to San Francisco and I don't know, just do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I mean, I was already excited about it, but then just what she just mentioned right now just makes me a little more excited about it. Like that Playland at the Beach thing. Mm-hmm. We've done a couple of things where we've seen like, old memorabilia from like Playland at the Beach, because I'm a little upset that, it's gone and I never got a chance to check it out kind of thing.
Go to Santa Cruz.
Well, right. This one, like we've gone to Santa Cruz. We went to that arcade in was in Richmond.
Yeah, El Cerrito.
Yeah. And you get parts of those experience. You get like parts of the experiences back, and it's fun, even though it's not the full experience. So that's just gonna add. It's gonna be a lot of fun to be able to
James is trying to bully us. We just ignore him. I can't put a hat on right now. My hair is up, and I
Yeah.
look weird with that kind of hat on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I'm excited about, and I actually have a couple of pizza places that I want to check out because on the last podcast that they did, they talked about their favorite pizza places. So I want to try and get some pizzas from a couple of those places.
What places were they?
One's called like Golden Boy Pizza.
Okay.
That's the one I remember because that's Nicole's favorite.
Okay.
And then there was a restaurant that she said is a bar or a restaurant that she celebrates her birthday at, and it starts with like a T or something like that. I have to go back and listen to it.
Was it Tito's?
No.
Okay, it's not the one in Daly
It's
City.
like Temple.
Oh, okay.
Something. I think she said it was.
Surfer Boy Pizza. Cam said Surfer Boy Pizza.
Yeah, I know, right? I almost said Surfer Boy, but no, it's called Golden Boy Pizza.
Dude, pineapple on pizza. You gotta try it.
No, thanks. Does not belong on pizza.
I don't think that I think having James is saying have you reach out to
them
SF
and-
History. I just
yeah.
think that's worlds collide.
I don't know because I mean they nerd out on the city, so they can nerd out on the city on the show.
But they only nerd out on the west side.
It's fine.
Yeah. They don't like
They don't nerd out on the mission or like where I'm from.
No. I think what I really like about that podcast and why I originally started listening to it, and it's so funny because it's a podcast that I had always been looking for. And I can't even tell you how I stumbled upon it, but I was specifically looking for a podcast like that. And what I really liked about it is that, and it's changed a little bit. I mean, the purpose behind it is still the same, but it's changed a little bit. But what I like about it is that they have like a lot of people who actually experienced these things. And can talk about these things firsthand.
Right.
There was I can't think of the guy's name. But he was like a very well-known, like I never would have associated surfing with San Francisco, but I guess it was like a whole
there's
Kelly. Yeah, there's like this whole like Kelly's Cove crew.
Mhm.
Kelly's Cove.
And
crew.
they're very much like the stereotypical Hawaiian surfers where like if you're not a part of that whole crew, they like run you off the beach.
Okay, well, I don't know about that, but one of like the main guys, he recently like passed away, and they had on the podcast they had a virtual paddle out, which I thought was cool. Like the whole like theme behind of it was cool. And then they also had like an actual paddle out where you could go out to Kelly's Cove, and they all like paddled out, and like his daughters were there and stuff like that. And they just talk about a lot of these people, like they were born and still live out that way. So, there's people that remember Playland at the beach and all this different kind. They remember Sutro baths, and they remember when it burned down and that kind of stuff. So
right.
Anyway, all right. Well, enough of that.
Well, let's do our send-offs here. So guys, James has mentioned it in the chat at this point, but we got merch, people. Oops, sorry, wrong one. We got merch, people. We got merch, people. You see this? You see these hats right here? I got a hat right there, and then we got the different versions of our hat. So the Galaxy Gray or the Baller Black is what we've called these hats. I like the look on Jackie's face. Like, why would you do that? But guys, if you are interested in a hat, our hats cost $35 per hat or $30 each hat if you get multiple hats. So if you get one for you and your mom, or you and your best friend, and or you get one of each color, that kind of thing, they're $30 each. If not, they are $35 for a single hat. DM us and we will get that shipped out to you, and you just let us know that you're interested in the hat. We still have shirts, we still have sticker packs. You just let us know and we will send those out as well. Shirts cost $25 if we have to ship it, $20 if you're local to the Sacramento area. And stickers are free. You just let us know you want them and give me your address, and I will ship you some stickers. Yep, Cam is getting on there. So guys, Wednesday we are doing the download. We're gonna have Chris Neal and Cam Smith back on, and we're gonna be doing a breakdown and review of the Stranger Things Part 2. So that'll be fun. You know, we're gonna go ahead and go off on Stranger Things and tell everybody how we felt about that. And then of course news and everything like as usual. Guys, that is it from us. So Squints, pluggables.
You can catch me at Cuts and Chaos Pod on Instagram. Podcast is in the works, and here whenever I can be here.
All right. Layaki.
You can find me at Distance Nerding. And you can find me at Distance Nerding.
All right.
Or you can catch me outside.
How about that? All right. And of course, guys, you can follow us at Distance Nerding everywhere where social media exists. We're on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all at Distance Nerding. Dance party time. So let's make sure I got the right song going here, and let's go. Start right here. Oh, War Machine.
Distance nerding.
The glasses are back.
When was them again?
I do what I
We're the three best friends that anyone can have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. See you guys on Wednesday.